Hi, we are Team Key from SMK Batu Lintang, Kuching, Sarawak. It is an honor for us to join this competition, namely Inovasi dalam Proses Pembelajaran dan Pengajaran, which is organized by IBCE. Here today, our group would like to present the Life to Science method. Before that, let's introduce the member of Key. My name is Koyen, and these two are my members, which are Chui Tong and Evelyn Kong. Now, let us look at the problem statement. According to the researchers, approximately 70% of Malaysian students report that science are difficult to comprehend, and only 51% feel confident learning science. Not only that, around 40% of students were found to lack basic science knowledge or skills, especially after school disruptions during the pandemic. So, why choose us? This is all because the limitations of traditional teaching. Traditional teaching often rely heavily on memorization and note taking. It results in low engagement and poor retention. It is also hard for students to relate the textbook content to the real world. The quote of the day: if students can't learn the way we teach, maybe we should teach the way they learn by using the life to science method. Now, you may be wondering, what is the life to science method? The life to science method is a method where abstract biological concepts are explained using everyday situations or objects students are familiar with. For example, a molecule enters a cell can be explained by using a house tour.
Our method focuses on science subjects, especially biology, chemistry, and physics. These subjects are known to be challenging, even for high performing students. Many students struggle with topics like cell structures, chemical bonding, or Newton's laws because they are taught in abstract ways with no link to real life. This often leads to confusion, frustration, and rote memorization, where students simply memorize definitions without truly understand what they mean. Now, how Life to Science innovation addresses it. First, this method makes abstract science concepts easier by linking them to real life situations. Besides, this method uses visual and emotional cues to boost memory and understanding. It also encourages active observation and thinking instead of rote memorization, which cause the students hard to remember what they have learned. Now, you might be wondering, how do we use this method in class? We can start by introducing a daily object of the day. We can imagine the things around us and link with the science concept. For example, house wall as cell wall, which is plant cell, because it provides structure and protection like what house wall did. Second, door as plasma membrane, which control the movement in and out of the cell. Living room as cytoplasm, space for cell activities like our daily activities which we often did in living room. And shoes rack as Golgi apparatus which sorts and processes items, like how we sorting shoes on a shoes rack. Oven as mitochondria, which provides energy, like how we cook food for us to eat to gain energy through cellular respiration. Lastly, trash bin as lysosome, because it breaks down waste. Through these methods, students can link real-life situation with the science concept which make them easier to understand and remember. Besides using this method by teaching, we can also use more creative ways to use this method in class. Firstly, group projects. We can let students make their own analogies. Example, cell is like a city. Second, comic strips or roleplay. Students can act out a chemical reaction using household items to make them understand more. Third, assessment. We can use match the analogy quiz for students to test their understanding in a fun way. Benefits of life to science method. Easy to understand complex topics because students connect new info to what they already know. Next, encourages creative thinking, especially among students who normally struggle with science. Third, improve memory and retention, since emotional and visual cues stay longer in the brain by using this method. What our team hope to achieve by using this method? First, we hope that we can help students understand science subjects, especially biology, in a more meaningful and enjoyable way. Second, inspire teachers to try creative approaches to teaching abstract content. Third, we want to prove that everyone can learn as long as the concept is presented in the right way. There's no such thing such as dumb student or smart student. It's just they are using the wrong method to study.
We indeed tested our life to science method on a Form 4 class, using daily objects to explain science concepts. And the goal was to see if this approach would help the students understand and remember the topics in bio better. So as you can see, we divided the Form 4 students into two groups, Group A and Group B. Group A uses the traditional method, which consists of textbooks and standard notes only, while Group B uses the life to science method, where daily objects were linked to cell parts. The results came back as just what we expected. 85% of Group B students still remembered the key concepts, compared to just 52% in Group A. And the class participation in Group B was noticeably higher compared to Group A, while the average score increase was 21% in Group B, while Group A improved by only 8%. Lastly, 43% of Group A students enjoyed the lesson, but a much higher 91% of Group B said that they enjoyed it. These are examples of the life to science method in other subjects. In chemistry, we learn about melting, where solid changes into liquid and heat is added. We can imagine it like a block of butter melting, whereas freezing is liquid changes into a solid and heat is removed, while we can imagine water turning into ice in the fridge. In physics, we learn the sun's gravitational force towards the earth, which pulls the earth towards it. But the earth also has a forward motion, preventing it from being pulled directly into the sun. It's similar like swinging a yo-yo. The string pulls the yo-yo towards your hand, but the forward motion of your yo-yo keeps it in a circular path. What me and my team learned is that making analogies helped us understand the topic better too, and not just for our audiences. We also discovered that teaching complex subjects such as biology can be fun and creative. We also saw how creative teaching can make a real difference in understanding a topic or a subject. We now believe analogy can be a powerful tool for other science topics as well. In conclusion, this life to science teaching method makes lessons more engaging, relatable, and effective. We also demonstrated how this approach enables students to grasp onto complex topics more easily. By using everyday analogies, we make complex cell structures easier to understand, remember, or even enjoy. This method turns abstract science into stories we can relate to, just like entering a house and understanding how each room works. With just a little creativity, Even the smallest organelle becomes meaningful, powerful, and unforgettable. That's all from us for now. Thank you for paying attention.